Stampers, it's Judy Clock here at Stampin' with Crafty Clock, coming to you with another Facebook Live. It's Thursday, October 7th. I guess it's about 7:30, and we're going to be working on our Christmas cards today. These are some of the designs that I'll be offering at my Christmas Stamp-A-Stack that will be coming up towards the end of October, beginning of November. I don't have the dates set yet. I need to just really firm up my calendar, but they'll be coming. So we're going to be working with the Tidings and Trimmings bundle. This was in the annual catalog, believe it or not. It's not in the holiday catalog, but it is in the annual catalog. And it's called Tidings and Trimmings, and it's got these great images and sentiments and the matching die. So you can cut out the stockings, the stars, the ribbon. You can cut out some of the leaves, the holly leaves, the holly berries. So there's a lot of great options in here to work with. So let's go ahead and look at what we're going to work on tonight. So we're going to start out with a very simple stamping card. We're really just going to be using stamps, inks, and paper, and just adding a touch of an embellishment with that ribbon. So that's our first one. And we're sticking with Evening Evergreen and the Cherry Cobbler, which are the colors in the Tidings and Trimmings Designer Series paper. This is a 6x6 pack. Let me see if I can open this up and just kind of fan it out. So you've got some great designs in here. It's got Cherry Cobbler, Crumb Cake, Soft Succulent, Evening Evergreen, and of course our basic white. So you've got lots of options, and you can pair this with lots of our holiday sets. And then we're going to get a little bit more involved, and we're going to do some embossing and some die cutting, and we're going to punch some labels and add some embellishments. This is also in the annual catalog. It's the gold and rose gold metallic paper. It's very pretty. I just bought it, and the people that signed up for my October class are getting a quarter of a pack of this paper. I really like it, so I hope that you like it too. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I see we have Maureen with us. Hey, Maureen. Don't forget, if you're here, say hello, give me a shout out. Let me know that you're here. And I always do a drawing for my cards that we make together. And Pamela Lundke won last week. So Pamela, if you're listening, I need your mailing address so I can mail out those cards to you. So let's get started. Our first card, we're going to use a sheet of Evening Evergreen. It's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We have a piece of that Tidings and Trimmings Designer Series paper. It's 4 by 5 1/4. Now, when you cut off that extra bottom piece on because this is 6 by 6, so we've got about 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to save this, and we're going to use that to embellish the inside of our card. And then I've got a piece of Cherry Cobbler that is 4.5 by 3.5. And I've got a piece of Whisper White that is 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and then we're going to add our Evening Evergreen sheer ribbon. So let's go ahead. Let me start with the inside. And like I've been telling people that have been signing up for my classes in Berryville, when you're working with the inside, really anything really you want to stamp, then stick. Because if you make a mistake, you can flip it over because paper has two sides. But if you've already adhered it and you make a mistake, it's a little bit harder to fix. Hey, Patricia, thanks for joining us tonight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp on the inside the sentiment that says, wishing you a joyful Christmas and a happy new year. And I really love these sentiments. I'm going to stamp this in our Evening Evergreen. I am a green girl. I love my greens. And I honestly, I love this Evening Evergreen really more than I thought I would. It surprises me how much I really do love it. Shaded Spruce was my favorite, and I think it's been replaced by Evening Evergreen. So sorry, Shaded Spruce. We'll use that again in a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere this little piece of paper right on the bottom. You know, it's a good way to use up our scraps. You know, this way you got that little scrap hanging around. Just go ahead and decorate the inside of your card. This way the inside will match the outside. All right, let's go ahead and put that on the inside. And again, just use I'm using my Stampin' Seal Plus. You can use liquid glue. You can use whatever you would like. Okay, There we have that. Now I'm just going to go ahead. I'm not going to adhere this first because I got to have all my layers together and then wrap my ribbon around. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to stamp my sentiment on here. And I'm going to stamp that in our cherry cobbler. And the reason I did that was because then I could do the leaves and the berries around it. I don't want to get ink on my cards. See how I did that? I stamped this first so I kind of knew where I could place my leaves. And I kind of stamped it a little bit off center. That was done on purpose. I kind of wanted to have it done a little bit off center. So we're just going to stamp this in our cherry cobbler. Make sure I can get this on screen. And I'm using my Stampin' Pierce mat because I do, we're working with our photopolymers. Just clean it up real quick. And I don't have my annual catalog down here. Otherwise, I would tell you what page this was on. I'll use that again later. Okay, so then I'm going to come in here. And there are two leaves that I'm going to use. One is, it's sort of like a double leaf, and then we have a triple leaf. And I just did that to just kind of keep it a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to put one on one side, one on the other side, and then I'm going to stamp. I'm just going to stamp a couple of times with the double leaf, making sure I don't get, and as you can see, I have a piece of paper because I'm not, my whole image isn't going on my cardstock. So got my scrap paper under there. I'm just going to come back in here with our triple leaf. Put one there. And just, you know, wherever you want. It doesn't matter how many you put on there. Kind of bobbled that one, but that's okay. And then we're going to come on here with the, I don't know if they're really holly berries. I'm sort of calling them holly berries. But I guess it's my stamp set, so I can call it whatever I would like. Let me just clean off this block real quick because I think it's got some green ink on it, and we don't want to get ink on our project. So I'm not the neatest of stampers. I'm going to be the first to admit that. And now I've just lost my holly berry stamp. There it is. Okay. And I'm just going to come in with, now it won't stick because my block is wet. And I'm just going to kind of stamp this over some of my leaf images. Just adding that little touch of color. Okay. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to do too much. I'm just going to kind of keep it fairly simple. I'm going to close these up. Okay, now we're ready to assemble. So I'm going to layer the white over the cherry cobbler. And then I'm going to put both of those onto our designer series paper. And then we'll add the ribbon and then add it to the card front. Okay, so we've got that on there. Let's go ahead and put that. And surprisingly, I'm not using Stampin' Dimensionals with this, because I figure some beginners may not have dimensionals. So there we go. We got that on there. Now I'm going to come through and I'm going to put a little bit of Stampin' Seal here on the bottom to help hold our ribbon in place. And I don't know, maybe 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. I don't know if I want it to go over the red or not over. I think I do want it to go over the red. So let's move it up a little bit higher. And again, placement is really just dependent upon where you want it to go because it's your card. All right, now we're ready to stick this onto our card base. I'm just going to add some more adhesive. Okay. All right, going to add some adhesive there. Okay. And I'm going to cut just another, I don't know, maybe about 4 inches of the ribbon. And I'm just going to tie it in a knot right on here. So nothing fancy, just something real quick and easy and real simple. But I do like the way the colors work together. I think the cherry cobbler and the evening evergreen play nicely together. And there you have our first simple stamping card with our tidings and trimmings. So that's it. Easy peasy. 1, 2, 3. 2 colors. Well, 3 colors if you count the basic white. Now let's go ahead and get started on our more intricate card, or advanced, or avid stamper's card. So I've taken the liberty of already doing some die cuts. So let me show you these. We have, I cut the blue, I cut out of Night of Navy, I cut the solid star. So we have that. I punched the, I think it's Everyday Labels. I punched a basic white and a Night of Navy. We're going to cut the Night of Navy in half and let it stick out on each side, left and right, of the basic white. Then I put adhesive backing. Before I die cut it, I put those adhesive strips on the back, and I die cut this more intricate star for this particular project. And then I ran a piece of basic white through the 3D paint embossing folder. I love this folder. I'm kind of hoping it gives you the idea of like snow and snowbanks and snowdrifts. So that's why we're using this one. Okay, so let's start again. We're going to start on our inside. And I took our big star stamp and I just stamped a little bit in the corner. I think I left it on. I did. I left it on the block. Let me move this over here. So just kind of, I'm stamping a little bit off. I don't get the whole image on there. So I stamped that in the corner. And then I stamped Cheers from Our House to Yours right in the middle. Again, stamp, then sticks. We're going to stamp it first. Now we're ready to attach it to our card base. And we're going to put that on the inside. So, how is everyone doing tonight? Today was a very nice day. It was a little overcast, but overall not too bad. So gearing up for fall. I'm excited for the fall weather. Now I'm going to go ahead and put this on. Again, this is embossed with that 3D paint texture. For some reason, whenever I emboss, the stamping seal always rips them. So I try to put these on with the liquid glue. I don't know why that is, but I have very bad luck using Stampin' Seal with embossed images. Don't ask me why I turn it like this. I don't know. I just do. I'm weird. Okay. We've got that. Now I've got our star and I've already got the backing on it. So I'm going to take my U-Pick tool and I'm going to try to get that adhesive backing off. There we go. Wow. First time. That's amazing. Now I'm just going to kind of eyeball it here because I kind of want it to be in the middle. And I'm just going to stick it down. But putting those adhesive sheets on the back of this before you die cut it is just going to save you a lot of aggravation because it will stick beautifully now. So let's go ahead. We're going to put this on with our Stampin' Dimensionals, which of course I don't know where I just put them, but I have a whole bunch of ends here. So let me cut some of these and we'll put some of these on because these are still good. Don't ever waste your ends. They can be used just like your dimensionals. I'm going to kind of put one on each arm of the star. Just to kind of help. I probably don't need that many, but I tend to use probably more than I need. Okay. I'm going to put my star on there. Now, on this one, I'm going to stamp the Noel. I don't know if I'm going to stamp the stars. What do you think? Do you like the stars or are the stars overkill on this? Let me know what you think. So let me see my Noel. Just get it on a block. Okay, no comments. Well, I think I'm going to leave the stars off. Okay, so we have our Noel. We're keeping this really basic. I'm just going to cut this in half. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. It doesn't have to be exact because you're just going to have a little bit peek out on each side. So if you cut one side a little bit bigger, it's not going to impact the overall design. And then I just kind of hold them, try to get the edges even. And that's really all you do. You just have that little bit of blue peeking out. Okay. And then again, I'm going to put this on with some dimensionals. Cut out 2 of those, put one there, and put, oops, one there. Thank goodness for the edges of the dimensionals. They work perfectly. Okay, take this off. Okay, we're going to put that right there. And then I'm going to come in. I have some of our metallic pearls. Again, these are in our annual catalog. And I'm just going to put some of these on. Maybe we'll put like one there. And I like to do these in an odd number. So maybe we'll put like 3 or 5 on. We'll see. We'll see how it ends up. One there. Maybe one there. And I was trying to keep everything along with the blue and gold. And one more. That little bugger got away. And maybe, I don't know, one more. Maybe right there. No, I don't know where I want it. How about right there? Okay, and that is it for us tonight. So if you haven't looked at the Tidings and Trimmings, I know with the new catalog, it's very tempting to get all the shiny new toys that are in the new catalog. But if you haven't looked at the Tidings and Trimming in the annual catalog, I suggest you give it a second look. I think you will be very pleased with the cards that you can make with this. That's it for me. Don't forget, leave me a comment or interact with this post somehow. If you're watching on replay, say hashtag replay. And it's not too late to sign up for Stampin' Bingo coming up on Halloween. Check out the events section on my Stampin' with Crafty Clock business page, and you can get all the details from that. That's it for this edition of Stampin' with Crafty Clock. Thanks, everybody. See you next week.